Is a 2016 Mustang, and it's an EcoBoost car. I know that LS swapping these cars, tons of people do it, and I just wanted to go over a little bit about the process that I've gone through to get this car together and running. But what we've got here is it's just a 383 stroker. It's a 5.3 with 4-inch stroke, and then it's got Wiseco pistons and Ohio crankshaft rods and an on-3 94mm turbo. Some of the things that I've seen where these cars are swapped, I actually had a buddy who had a black one, and he had a forward-facing turbo. It was like a 98mm. Kind of started when I saw his car and how this could be done. But one of the things that I wanted to do differently is a lot of guys who are swapping these cars, whether it be LS or any other, type of motor, they are using the Ford crank sensor, and they're just repurposing the reluctor wheel externally to trigger, the internal gauges and just make everything kind of come alive from the Ford PCM. The other option would be, just to use a standalone, and that's all good and well, works great. But I noticed that when I started working with my buddy's car, the reluctor wheel for these EcoBoosts are 60-2. Let me see if I've got one here. This is the reluctor wheel everyone's using. They're taking it off the Ford balancer and just finding a way to center it and mount it to the LS balancer. The bolt spacing in my case here is not exactly right to be centered on that. And I thought to myself, this is 60-2, 58 teeth. LS motors are 58 teeth, or at least Gen 4s. So I went ahead and decided that I wanted to try and trigger the Ford crank system and PCM off of the LS crank signal. So I went ahead and bought one of those crank sensor splitters, and it just runs to a wire here, and I pinned it into the Ford harness just to see if it would work. And what I was really trying to accomplish here is get tach signal on the Ford cluster from this LS motor. That also wakes up all the gauges and all of the accessories, including fuel pump, which I'm not even using the Ford fuel pump wiring. But I went ahead and wanted that to work. That way the dash would stay awake, the radio would stay awake, and it wouldn't give me the powering down car not running error codes or errors on the dash. So that was the focus goal there. I did go ahead and I had a drop box built for my B&M ratchet shifter so that it would sit in the near factory position. And this is a 4L80 because I wanted to make this car a cruiser. So I wanted overdrive, but I still have the ability to shift through all the gears in the stock location. And I used the ratchet shifter because I knew that throw wasn't going to be extremely long, so it can still stay in that stock position, and that's back in park. But other than that, it's got custom motor mounts from House of Hook Performance. The buddy over there, Justin McCune, made those for me. And then I've got a modified stock transmission mount and custom drive shaft for the car. Now, because this car was an automatic, I had to use a drive shaft adapter for the rear so that I could get standard U-joints in it, or 1350s in this case. But it's just the Sonax 1350 adapter to the Ford bolt pattern for the rear drive shaft. Went ahead and moved the transmission mount back and had custom mounts put there, or brackets, to hold it in place for the ADE. And honestly, using the stock ADE pan, it doesn't really sit below the body lines on this car, so it's not excessively low, which was another concern. just making sure there was proper ground clearance for the transmission. Go ahead and grab throttle body, forward pedal. We have control.